Alexander Forbes announcing plans of a relisting on the JSE in the next 12 to 24 months. This in the wake of the decision by private equity firm Actis, saying it's keeping its shareholding in Alexander Forbes in the event that it does relist. Alexander Forbes CEO Edward Keiswesser joining me for a deeper look at the potential of us talking about Alexander Forbes once again when we talk about the markets closed. Thanks for joining us today. So we've got Actis saying it's keeping its stake, but Ethos is saying they're wanting to exit from their stake. I mean, how much does Ethos and Actis both own overall?
Sam, so first of all, to say I think the newspaper yesterday somehow misrepresented the true position, and I'll clarify that in a moment. But when the private equity consortium came into power, into being, Ethos, Actis was clearly the lead shareholder, owning just more than 12%, and Actis slightly less. The effective shareholding had changed because of other instruments that they've bought, but at an ordinary shareholding level, Actis was the lead. Now, maybe just to clarify, yesterday, so we have announced our intention to drive an exit, an IPO-led exit of the current consortium. They're there 6 years. And so whilst we haven't focused on the exit, we have focused on building a sustainable business. We have been mindful that an exit is inevitable.
Yeah.
And so in preparing for that, we went to the board, and the board has approved an IPO-led exit strategy.
Okay, so let's talk about the shape of the company as we potentially get ready for its relisting on the JSE right now, because there's been a lot of changes. Also, I mean, the likes of Marsh has come in and bought one aspect of Alexander Forbes, the risk business. You've been reshaping, restructuring, transforming the business. How does it differ from what it looked like back in 2007 when it delisted?
The key difference isn't structurally. The key difference is the integrity of the organization, that which really we focused on building a sustainable organization, a stronger bias for growth, and focusing on those things which gives our business longevity. We're a people business. We don't make bricks and mortar and widgets. But we have also decided, as part of our strategic intent, to really focus and re-clarify what our core business is. In that respect, the Marsh transaction 2 years ago was about getting out of the insurance, the risk broking business, because clearly that part of the business needed a strategic partner of international stature, and Marsh was a great fit for that merger. We also will be aware that we are currently considering offers for the disposal of Guardrisk. Guardrisk is a wonderful business in its own right, but it also is the least strategic fit into the rest of the group. Our core business, really, we have defined, is around employee benefits. You know, we're one of the largest administrators and consultants and actuaries giving advice in employee benefits. And in addition to that, investments. Around that, there are periphery businesses that supplements that, but the core is really a continuous value chain between employee benefits and investments.
A lot of changes, regulatory changes taking place in shaping employee benefits right now. How do you see that affecting Alexander Forbes' business?
First of all, we think those are necessary changes. We have a social system that has many inequities, and part of the reform is to address those inequities and to put the interest of clients ahead of all else, and that we fully support. Clearly that will bring about a reshaping of the industry, but we see more opportunity in that. So we've put our hand up as a catalyst and a positive agent to that change, and we're working with the policymakers and the regulators to ensure that we retain the right focus and that we don't throw the baby out of the bathwater. And that we understand the policy and regulatory intent without losing what the core business focus is. Because ultimately, I think it is about the interest of clients.
How much of a growth market is Africa going to be? Outside of South Africa, of course, because we're in Africa. How much of a growth market is it going to be for Alexander Forbes? With, of course, Marsh taking on a portion of your business, and of course, that is also a focus area for them.
Yes, so we've identified 3 clear growth strategies. The first is to retailize our business. We have huge potential to do that, and if we had more time, I'll tell you more about that. And we're already seeing significant success in that regard. Secondly, we've said the public sector. Government in most countries are still the largest client, and we've organized ourselves to service government better. And then into Africa, post the sale of risk services, we are really focusing on consolidating our businesses around employee benefits, where we can, both advice and administration, but including that also looking for opportunities for short-term risk as well as for investment opportunities.
Acquisitive opportunities.
Initially, we will grow organically, but we also will, as we create more headroom, as we rebalance our capital structure, to look for significant opportunities in where we are currently, but also to look to areas such as Ghana, re-entry into Tanzania, etc.